Mark Price. I'd like to talk to you today about Palm Sunday. Late in Mother Teresa's life, she was asked a question by reporters. She was asked, "Do you feel, Mother, that you've been successful?" Think about that. Somebody asking Mother Teresa, have you been successful? After all she did all over the world. But her answer was interesting. She looked at the reporter and she said, "God did not call me to be successful. God called me to be faithful." And God calls us to the very same thing. So happy Palm Sunday. As we remember Palm Sunday, a lot of us, we think about, of course, the palms, and we think about Jesus riding in on that donkey. Well, I want to tell you something. It really was never about the palm. It was really more about the plan, God's plan for Jesus, and by extension for all of us. And it wasn't really about the donkey. It's about Jesus' decision to embrace God, his Father's plan. And that is what we're all called to do. When Jesus made that decision to embrace God's plan for him, at that point, riding into Jerusalem, he knew he was riding into his death. He knew that it would not be long before the Sanhedrin, who we read yesterday in the reading, we already know want him dead, tried to stone him to death before. So we know that in Jesus' mind, he's aware of what he's riding that donkey into. He's riding it into Jerusalem to bring about his own death. He maybe did not fully understand the level of pain and suffering it would take, but he was willing to fully embrace whatever God's plan was for him in his life. So I'd like to suggest that we use this Palm Sunday to figure out what that plan is that God has for us in our lives and to make the decision to embrace that plan. Scripture tells us that God touched us, each of us, before we were even born, and called us for a special purpose to proclaim the glory of his Son. Each of us, all of us, you, me, there's a plan for us that God has. It's up to us to figure out, plan out, to discern that plan, and then, as Jesus did, make the decision to embrace that plan. Let us use this Palm Sunday to grow closer to God through his Son, Jesus. Let us use this Palm Sunday to become faithful. I wish you all a very, very happy Palm Sunday. May God continue to bless each and every one of you. This is Mark Price. Thanks for listening.
Well, it was not long later that Jesus sent John and me into Jerusalem to buy a colt. Now, my beloved, if you could go back in time to one moment in all of history, I would recommend this moment. To see Jesus sitting up on that colt, and he was riding down through the streets of Jerusalem, and thousands of people on either side of the street were waving branches of palm, shouting, "Praise to Jesus! Hosanna to Jesus!" It was a sight to see. Sadly, some of those very people who this day were shouting Hosanna and praise to Jesus, less than 1 week later would be shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" What is it about our human nature that can take us from loving one moment, praising one moment, to wanting to see them dead the next? I don't know. I don't know.